Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to share with you a clip from a conversation between myself and Jim Morgan, where we're going to talk about GLS, which is Genesis League Sports. And it's starting with soccer, but we're moving into many other sports eventually. And so this is actually a new ecosystem of games that will be associated with and connected through economy with Splinterlands. And things like validator node owners of Splinterlands are going to benefit from this, and SPS owners are going to benefit, and card owners might benefit. So this is actually really exciting, whether you like that game or not. But in this video, Jim and I are going to unpack why we are excited or how we feel about this new adventure and expansion on what we consider the Splinterlands video game ecosystem, because it is growing, guys. Stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe. Bye.
Going off of the one thing with the GLS validator nodes,
Yeah.
when we start getting into the other games that are being made for it, like hockey, baseball, football, whatever else, what if they also kind of keep that into like, all right, well, if you guys have validator nodes from Splinterlands, that like we're going to give you like 5% of the total ones that we have.
Sorry, I was just adding something, checking out the chat. What about the validator notes?
I was just saying, so the same thing where the soccer is giving away validator nodes to
Yep.
people of Splinterlands.
Mm-hmm.
What if the other ones that come out? What if hockey comes out and they do the same thing? What
Yeah.
if football comes out and they do the same thing?
Yeah. 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 I mean, and Aggie spoke to this in the last town hall. He said something like, look, we can't be certain that this is going to happen, but we believe it's going to happen. Like we think that that's going to be an element, like the creators of those other games are in some sense incentivized to do so, because they would be, attracting an audience of like-minded investors by giving them a taste of the economy, of the stake available to them. And then once you get me involved, maybe I'm hooked. And that's kind of that's the thinking, I think. I think. Yeah. And I think that's why, even if you don't like soccer or football or basketball, which they've talked about, they're going to do them all. You got to be optimistic about what that could do for Splinterland's economy.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see what the chat's saying. There's lots of conversations in here. I appreciate it, guys.
A full soccer team of nodes.
Yeah.
I'm down. 5v5, my nodes versus your nodes.
Glenn, I got my 50 refreshed page with 2 seconds left. I got them sold out in 1 million lol.
Dude, I'm super stoked for basketball and the soccer, or not soccer, the hockey one.
Yeah.
Because we can just imagine how much the Michael Jordan is going to be. The LeBron, the Kobe's.
Yeah.
We can just imagine it.
Yeah. Rooney's is like another way that I'm thinking about that right now. Like Crypto Ace was like, mentioned Rooney's and got me reminded about that. Like the individualization of cards and the cross pollination of communities is like part of this idea where GLS is approaching, like coming at it, creating like there's a soccer game, then towered events, and there's going to be basketball and hockey and on and on and on. All of these things are going to be this cross connection of communities that are going to be individually excited at various levels for their own project, and then others. And that might be a growth point. But Rooney's, to me, feels like the same thing, because it's attracting perhaps an NFT specific audience, not the Splinterlands audience, an Ethereum based NFT audience. And I think they will be very strong. So I'm excited to have that card. I'm excited plus I think it's cool, really cool. I actually really, really want, I feel like I need one, and I hope I can get two, because I really want to change this logo and have my own thing, like Infidel logo. It would be so cool if I could buy one, and not only that I could buy one, but I actually get one that I think is really awesome. I would be really pumped by that. Are you interested at all, Jim?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it is a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that they're trying to get a little bit more into like that side of NFTs. especially branching out into the Ethereum stuff or the OpenSeas. I just don't think I'm going to touch it. So,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kind of anxiety and like doubt around useless NFTs that have no utility. That's not what no Unis are though. Like these are going to have in-game utility, and I think for that reason alone, it will have a value. And because it's like because it has a value, it's going to get sold in the game to us at least, to users of Splinterlands at least. And then that buying pressure should trigger interest from third parties that are off of our game, not necessarily because they love the art, not necessarily because they're going to grow in interest around Splinterlands, but because the buying and selling pressure of the token triggers interest in investors. And so I think that that's possible, like possibly a connection point, even if they don't care a lick about Splinterlands, which is cool because then it becomes this buying pressure that we have to fight against, which can drive up the price of this asset. And because it's available, like saleable in this bigger, broader marketplace, who knows if how well it could sell. It could be devastatingly bad. I have to be clear that I don't know it's going to be awesome. I do think they're going to try and make it better than you would expect, and from an ability standpoint, and that bodes well for us. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself. But I just love all this cross-pollination is my point. And that's a thing that can't help but help us in the long term.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Darren says, bullish on college sports. Everyone has college in their town. Good age range for blockchain adoption, and college athletes can finally make money off brand and image. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, couldn't you just imagine the college, it's pretty nefarious how colleges do that. Like they don't let the team make anything at all. They can't even like accept cars or, clothes or meals out as far as I know. Go ahead.
That's actually why they stopped making NCAA sports for like video games. 2014 was their last one, and it was like hella priced. And because the game company wanted to pay the college kids for it, and then the colleges were like, no. So they stopped making them, but now I think they're going to start bringing it back again. So I don't know.
So crazy. Crazy because they literally they are the show. Now, I've heard like arguments around you want them to be focused on their academics and like not it to be it shouldn't be a career. And then there's labor
Except
laws
are making a bunch of money off of them, so they can send that straight out the window.
Yeah, exactly. And they literally they spend it on their own purposes and high paid coaches and so it's crazy. It's kind of modern day. Well, it's not like you wouldn't want to use the word that it's like it's not like they're being treated well. They're probably getting free schooling, but it's you gotta say at least it's not fair. And it would be cool if this technology could unlock some value for those people. He's right. That would be really neat.
Yeah.
I see Blaze Coast is here. Blaze Coast made it into champ this season after I think he said he usually fights in diamond or his first time into champ. And this morning, guys, I almost made it into champ. I made it 36.97 was my rank, which is 3 rank points, 3 away from making it, but I didn't quite make it. All players are all players part of the player association? Do any of you know? I don't know.
No clue.
I kind of wonder if I kind of was expecting that it would be like you said earlier, Jim, you were kind of talking about Michael Jordan. I was kind of expecting that the names of players might not be even recognized. Now, it would be like, it would have to because in the old days when sport games like first launched, well, not when they first launched, but when I started playing them in like the 90s, there wasn't necessarily even hero like names of the skater. The skater was just like, there was ice hockey was a Nintendo video game and old 8-bit. and they didn't have names. They had like a skinny guy, they had a fat guy, and they had like a medium guy.
Yeah.
And that
The
was,
original one, yeah.
you know that one?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking
Yeah.
about. But when it got into the the NHL like 93, that's when I know for sure they started having player names on there.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. 93 was the first one that I took seriously, and then 94 was where it really blew up for me. You're right. So, but is this going to be the early iterations, like just like non-named heroes? Is it going to be soccer, but like who? But there won't be names. Is there going to be pictures of like Ronaldo or something like this? But it won't have his name, or it'll have his number, but it won't have. You know what I mean? Or is it going to be full fledged and then paying out value to those companies? Those that own his rights, or for him, like we said, to the NCAA players directly. I just don't know.
Yeah. I think it was 93 or 94, I forget. But like if you hit the little character hard enough, then like they start spazzing out on the ice and you'll see like red splot coming out of the
Yeah, 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 man. I played that all the time.
yeah. And yeah, it's possible nodes sell out today.
On the Butters is talking about NHL 94 on the Super Nintendo. I always messed
Yeah.
around on it on the Genesis version. I felt it was a lot better, and on the Genesis it had that, but on SNES it didn't have that. What are you talking about?
I think yeah, on Super or on NES and the Super Nintendo, they didn't have the NHL 94. That wasn't until Genesis, and then it was on PlayStation.
On the, I think they had 94. I might be wrong about this now, but the first year that Super Nintendo has it, you can hit them and you can hurt them, and if they get hurt, they roll around on the ground.
Yeah.
But on the Genesis, if they roll around on the ground, there's a 50% chance that it's going to lead to a pool, like you were saying. So it's like it's kind of that fun mechanic. That's fun how the programmers would have thought of that. It's like there's a 1 in 10 chance if you get hit, you're going to get hurt. If you get hurt, you'll roll around on the ground. There's a 1 in 2 chance if you get hurt and if you're rolling around on the ground that your character will,
Start to bleed.
yeah, like that's a fun like game mechanic for them to think through. Back when, man, that game I must have played that game for 1,000 hours with my buddies.
It says 94 was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I thought so.
So,
Question: how much do you think? Okay, so I'm gonna say Exis says,
yeah, X's.
how much do you think the promo card will be when it goes up for sale? That's a good question. Let's have a peek at that one. LA Kings all day. I gotta quickly. No, man, forget about the Kings. I used to love playing Chicago Blackhawks. Shout out to Jimbo, because they had Jeremy Roenick. They had in that year they had Steve Larmer, Jeremy Roenick, Eddie Belfour, Chris Chelios. Oh man, there's 4 or 5 other amazing. They had 2 Goulet brothers. I forget their names. And their team was amazing back then. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a quick peek at that promo card.